What is up, everybody? How's it going? Happy Monday. Austin Prechtelevate Performance, coming at you live. Hope you're having a good day so far. I'm going to do a really quick live, because I have a meeting here in about 10 minutes. But this is an interesting topic that might, and I want to emphasize this topic. I hope it encourages you to do your weight loss journey the correct way, right? If your goal is weight loss or fitness journey in general, the correct way, right? Slow and steady, sustainably. Because I'm going to talk to you guys about really quick why going the shortcut route, going a faster route, going kind of like a crash diet route is honestly gonna and it's been proven is going to be very unsuccessful, right? Very unsuccessful. I'm going to start and open up with this in saying 50 to 90%, studies have shown 50 to 90% of people who lose weight will regain all of the weight they lost within 1 to 5 years. Okay? I'm going to open with that, right? What's up, Brianna? 1 to 5 years. 50 to 90% of people who lose weight will regain all of it back within 1 to 5 years, right? That's not even crash dieting people in general. That's everybody, right? That's everybody. That's not even counting people who, or that's not even like excluding people who do things sustainably. There is a high chance, right? And I say this because I want you guys to be aware of it, right? There's a high ass chance that you will regain all the weight that you lost back within 1 to 5 years. Okay? That sucks, right? To not that's after you've done all this like crazy work to lose all this weight, right? That's after you've done all of this like a shit ton of like time, energy, physical, mental, emotional, like stress, right? Like to lose all this weight. And then I'm standing up here right now telling you that there's like a really high chance, like potentially a coin flip or higher, right? But like 90%, that's crazy, right? 50 to 90%. A coin flip that you're going to gain all of that shit back within 1 to 5 years after just going through the gauntlet to lose it all, right? Why is that, right? Why is that? And how can we prevent this from happening, right? So as you guys are tuning in, feel free, drop a comment, say hi, give the video a like. But I say this not to discourage you from trying in the first place, but to make you aware of what's going to give you the best chance possible, right? The best chance. I got a shit ton of people watching me on TikTok. What's up, guys? A shit ton, right? The things that you guys need to do, right, to help prevent this from happening, because weight loss is hard. I'm not going to say that it's not. It is hard. If you know what you're doing, it's easier, right? If you've got these habits and these skills that you're working on and developing and your mindset's in the right place, it's easier, right? But it's never like easy, right? It's easier, but not easy. And because weight loss is complicated, it's tough. You're in a lot of ways fighting what your body is meant to do, right? And what it's been, it's evolved to do, and that's survive, right? And store energy, so that way, in case fucking apocalypse or you're lost out in the desert or some shit, your body doesn't know there's a grocery store, probably within a 10-mile radius of where you live, right? Your body doesn't know that. It wants to survive. And so a lot of times that 50 to 90% rebound effect, essentially, where people regain all the weight back, it's extremely common, right? So how can we prevent this, right? How can we prevent this from happening or give us the best shot possible? Because the more you understand something, like it's that whole knowledge is power concept, the more that you understand something, the more you're going to be able to control it, right? So if you're aware of these things ahead of time, right? If you're aware of these things, the fact that so many people, quit, or so many people regain things back, it's because they weren't maintaining the habits that they were doing to lose that weight in the first place. And this is where it gets, this is where I get very much so like, yeah, fad diets can work. Yeah, keto can work. Yeah, a lot of these other eating strategies and tools like carnivore, like they can work because they more often than not put you in a caloric deficit, right? But if that's how you lost the weight and you can't maintain what you did to lose that weight, you're not going to keep that weight off, right? You're going to fall into your old bad habits and ways, and you're going to regain it all back, right? So how do we actually go from, losing the weight to actually keeping it off long term, right? So we don't have this rebound effect. And it comes down to making sure that the method that you were using to lose weight in the first place was sustainable, guys. That's how this works is you need to make sure that you're giving yourself the best chance possible. If you lose weight doing a shortcut, right? Or you lose weight doing some sort of like quick fix, right? You like science has proven you will have an extremely, studies have shown that you're going to have an extremely low chance of keeping that off and succeeding, right? Extremely low chance. And so we want to give ourselves the best chance possible. And so having these sustainable habits and routines, these mindset shifts, you know, that are actually like going to be able to be maintained long term, like, that's the key here, is being able to maintain and being able to sustain your progress, because if you can't do that, you're not going to keep your progress. And so having like a sustainable weight loss journey, or a sustainable fat loss journey, or a sustainable fitness journey, whatever it is, shifting it into a lifestyle long term is going to be the key to making sure that you are successful. And that doesn't mean that your weight won't fluctuate, or you won't gain, or you won't lose over time, but you're going to be able to maintain long term. And having goals for yourself, consistent goals over time, that's going to be helpful for that. Because a lot of times what people like do is they lose all the weight and they're like, I did it, I'm done, I'm happy. And then a lot of times, because they did it unsustainable way, they do like a fad diet, or they do like a crash diet where they drastically cut their calories or whatever, and it's not sustainable. They either quit before they even finish, right? So they don't actually succeed and reach their goals. Or when they do, they get to that point and they're like, oh, I made it. And it's just like they get there and they make it. And so they're like, oh, that was horrible. That was terrible. That was not sustainable at all. Like, or they have a bad day and they're just like, they hit the F it button. They get that all in, all out mentality about what their diet was. And like, that's fucking terrible. I ate bread today. Shit. I guess I'm not doing this anymore. And then they just like, go down this like the spiral in a sense, and regain all their weight back. And it doesn't happen overnight, right? It doesn't happen overnight, but because what they were doing in the first place just was not maintainable long term, they don't get to keep their progress. And so making sure that you're doing this, one, doing it for the right reasons, and doing it like the right way. Oh, hey, what's up, Anne Marie? How's it going? And so doing this and doing it in this way is just you're very it's encourage, if you're doing a quick fix or doing like yo-yo, you're encouraging yo-yo dieting, essentially. You're encouraging this, like, I'm all in, I'm all out, I'm either succeeding or I'm failing. And when you go about it that way, like, you're gonna fail long term. So you guys need to start to focus on shifting your mindset. You need to start shifting how you view your weight loss journey. It's not just a phase, right? It's not just a phase of your life. It is your life, right? It's a lifestyle shift. And so if you're not willing to shift your lifestyle in some way or another, right? Like by going to the gym regularly, or working out at least, even if it's up from home, at home, having eating right, right? Like doing these things that like are like going to encourage these healthy habits, these healthy mindset shifts, long term. Like, that's the way you're going to do it, is establishing routines, establishing habits, working on your mindset and making sure it's in a healthy place. Because a lot of the times people spiral and go off and quit their journeys, or fall off because their mindset is in a rough place, a lot of times, and it can make it very tough. And so you have to be able to maintain what you did to reach your goals long term. Obviously, you can, once you reach your goals, you can maintain and build up your calorie pool through like a reverse diet and stuff like that. So it's not as like you're not hungry all the fucking time and stuff like that. But to some extent, a weight loss journey requires some level of discipline and restriction. Not like a lot of restriction. It doesn't have to be, in your day to day, right? You're not just gonna cross this finish line and it's like, oh, I'm done. I reached my goals. Now I can stop doing all the things that got me here in the first place, right? That doesn't make sense. And so making sure that you're doing these things, and making sure that you're, like, you come into this with the right mentality and the right mindset. Like, it's not, I'm going to lose this weight, I'm going to get in and I'm going to get out. It's like, I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to, get myself to a place where I'm not as like stressed out from, being at this weight, through a reverse diet and things like that. But you're creating these habits, these rituals, these routines for life. These are lifelong commitments to yourself, to be healthy, be happier, to work out, to work on your mindset on a daily basis. And if you don't want to do that, then sorry, you're probably not going to be able to keep your progress long term. But that's why I really try to stress the importance of a sustainable weight loss journey. Because if you're trying to lose weight more than half a pound to 2 pounds lost per week, if you're going above and beyond that, and I'm not just talking at the beginning, whenever you lose a shit ton of weight at the beginning, because like glycogen stores get depleted, or you've got a lot more excess at the beginning proportionate to where your body weight would would be at a healthy weight, right? I'm not talking about that like but half a pound, 2 pounds lost per week. That's pretty maintainable. That's not crash dieting. That's not wait. And again, wait. It's not easy, right? But it's way freaking easier than going like a crash diet or like a fad diet route. Long term. So that's what you got to do, right? Got to come at it from a sustainable approach. Like that's going to give you the best chance of keeping the weight off long term. Habits and routines. You cannot view this as like a course, right? You can't view this as like I'm gonna pass this test and then I'm good for life on weight loss, right? You don't get like a check mark or like a plus on it, and it's like you're good for life. You don't have to do it anymore, right? You have to create a lifestyle of this and maintain it long term, because otherwise you're not going to maintain your progress long term. Because again, let me reiterate: 50 to 90% of people will regain all the weight back that they lost within 1 to 5 years. 50 to 90%. And I don't want you guys to be one of those people in that 50 to 90% category. I want you to be able to, you bust your ass enough to work out and to eat right and to lose the weight in the first place. It only makes sense to do what you need to do, and do it the right way the first time. Or if you've done it wrong the last multiple times, it's time to do it the right time this time. So that way you don't have to keep going through this vicious cycle that's like taxing. Because a lot of people think that there's something wrong with them, that they can't do it because there's something wrong. No, like weight loss is hard. Like weight loss is hard in and of itself. Doesn't mean it's impossible. It doesn't mean it's not worth it. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from trying to do that, obviously, because what I do for living and everything. And so and what this lifestyle provides to somebody is just so much more worth it. And again, it kind of comes back to that choose your heart. It's like, yeah, it's hard to lose weight, but it's hard as fuck to be unhappy and to be unhealthy and to die earlier than you should have and not be able to play with your kids and things like that. That's all fucking that's all hard too, right? And so, yeah, I want to give you guys the best chance you got to maintain and keep your weight off. And that's going to be how you do it is through a sustainable weight loss approach, making sure that you're, giving yourself all the tools possible, like flexible dieting, right? Not going the burnout route, over restricting your calories like crazy, keeping your weight loss half pound to 2 pound loss per week. That's a good goal to strive towards. And at the end of the day, like not trying to like hit like not being like I need to lose 20 pounds by summer. You could do it. It's probably not going to be the most sustainable thing possible. So don't set deadlines. Be like, I want to be healthy, or I want to be strong, or I want to be happy, I want to be energized, I want to reach my goals. But don't set like I have to lose this much weight by this period of time, because chances are, you're in this for life. You're not just in this until summer comes around, right? So, yeah, hope that was helpful, guys. Hope that was helpful. That's all I got for you guys today. But yeah, if you want to be, in that, 10 to 50% of people who can keep it off long term, your best bet is creating habits and routines and shifting your mindset to a more sustainable approach. That's how you're going to make it happen. So other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you have a good Monday. Let's start it off strong. Let me know your number one takeaway in the comments down below. Appreciate everybody tuning in, but I got to get to my meeting because I'm actually late for it. Bye.